I do litigation, civil litigation, and some criminal defense litigation. So short answer is that I love to do trial work.
Right. What types of cases would that be, for example?
Mainly employment defense, which would mean if an employer is sued for race discrimination, sex discrimination, any type of employment law, then we would represent that company. With respect to criminal defense, I used to be what's known as a federal prosecutor. And so once I left the U.S. Attorney's Office there in Oklahoma City and went back to Hall-Estill, I began doing criminal defense work at the federal level. What's not on my resume, which I think is an interesting story, is I worked on a case against a group of people called the Montana Freemen, and they were prosecuted. We were successful in their prosecution. What they were trying to do was to extort their way out of federal prison by trying to extort the prison warden. What they didn't know is they had hired an FBI informant to do their dirty work for them. So we were successful in the prosecution and they were ultimately convicted. Upon their conviction, they sent me a formal-looking notice in the mail which said that there was a warrant now out for my arrest in the Montana Freeman compound, which is my understanding is somewhere in Montana, so I never planned to go there. The main organization that I'm involved with used to be called Oklahoma League for the Blind. It's now known as New View, and I actually became knowledgeable with them because they were a client of the firm. And what New View does is it not only helps people who have lost their sight either at some point in their life or maybe have been blind their entire life. It helps them find jobs, puts them back to work, and it also helps them learn how to live independently. And so I think that's great that they are empowering people to take care of themselves and to also get out there and work, because I know because of so much employment defense work that I have done, even though I'm not on the plaintiff's side, it can be very devastating for someone to lose their job and lose that independence. And so I think that's wonderful that they do that. The other group that I've recently become more involved with is known as Allied for the Arts, which is a wonderful organization that does lots of different work throughout the Oklahoma City metro, I think all of Oklahoma as well. And they fund things for children, they fund ballet, they fund pretty much anything that you can think of that relates to the arts. And for me personally, I grew up in a family with a father who was an artist and a grandfather who was actually a cartoonist a long time ago with Hanna-Barbera. So I've always had a special place in my heart for art. So I'm glad I'm becoming more involved with that. I would tell them to find the area of law that they find passionate about. If you love what you do, then you will become successful. I truly believe that. You can't fake it. I know with juries, they know when you're not being honest and you're not being yourself. And I think if you don't believe in your client, no one's going to believe in your client. And so I think the same thing is true with yourself. You got to believe in yourself, you got to believe in what you're doing, and then the success will come.